Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Man, I'm really glad. I don't want to say I'm sorry I missed Daniel Hayes last week, but I get him on this week, and I get to talk to him. And if anybody makes me old, it's to talk to any of those folks down at Mossy Oak. And I'm really happy to have Daniel on with us this morning. He is Mossy Oak's Executive Director of Brand Marketing, which I know he can't get that title on a shirt. So he's just part of the family of Mossy Oak with his Paw Fox and his daddy, Toxie, all the other great people. Recently, we found out that Mossy Oak is coming out with a turkey stamp. And I think it's the coolest thing I've seen. You folks know that normally I would be turkey hunting this spring. That is one of the really disappointments of dealing with my cancer, that I can't be out in the woods. But I can't. But somebody else is out there. And we've got Daniel on with us this morning. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey, man, I know that lots of things. This is a special time for you and your family. Turkey hunting is in your blood. When you were little, it's in my blood. And I can't I think one of the first turkeys I killed was probably down there around West Point, where you live and grew up and everything like that. Because I didn't talk turkey until I was 55, and now I'm 105. It feels like it sometimes. But
well, I know you've been a friend of Mossy Oak and Dad for a really long time, and you said that about my job title, and we've certainly grown, and our team has grown since then. But I would imagine that the dynamic is still pretty similar if you were friends with Dad and Mr. Bob Dixon and Uncle Bill and Cuz and all them back in the day. We're still titles don't mean a whole bunch, because we still got to do about everything under the sun to work together and make everything work.
And you've done a great job, and you're still in West Point. I know when I did that first story down there, I just happened to drop by, and there was a boat dealership down there, and there was some other things, and then over to Mossy Oak, and I'm so proud of what you guys do. But let's talk about this turkey stamp, because I'm looking at it here. The idea itself, Daniel, and to coming up with we've got the ducks, we got a duck stamp, we got these other things. Talk about the wild turkey conservation stamp, the idea, and where we are right now on it.
Yeah, so we earlier this week we just crossed over the $50,000 mark, and the cool thing about this, I'll talk about the idea and everything after I had to at least say that. But the cool thing about it is that we're not accountable with these funds to anybody except for the turkey hunters who are buying them and giving us their money and trusting it with us. So every single dollar, every single cent from each stamp, we're selling them for $15, and in each stamp, all $15 from that stamp will go towards a wild turkey conservation fund. So we don't, we have an advisory board of a few people at Mossy Oak, and then a few of the country's most trusted wildlife biologists who are really sharp turkey guys, Michael Chamberlain in Georgia and Marcus Lashley in Florida. And they've got great social media presences that they're very transparent with all their research and all their work and all their findings with wild turkeys. So they have a lot of turkey hunters that really trust what they say. So we want everybody to know that everybody, I think, long before my time has always known that, Mossy Oak started, Bottomland was created to better hide from turkeys. Right. And the entire company, we wear our values on our sleeves, whether it's Papa or Dad or what they've instilled throughout everybody to be a gamekeeper. It's no secret that we take care of turkeys first and foremost as much as we can. So we're really proud of the money that we've raised thus far, and that all these turkey hunters are trusting us with their money. It's really cool. I mean, obviously anybody out there who's a duck hunter knows that there's a really long history with any kind of wildlife conservation stamp to raise money for different types of wildlife. But in the 80s and 90s, when the National Wild Turkey Federation created the stamp in the 70s when they first started, and the 80s and 90s really saw a lot of different wildlife conservation and fish species conservation stamps. But most of those were defunct, and now it's really just the federal migratory bird stamp, and everybody has to buy their state duck stamp, and everybody's used to buying that. But not really anyone except for Arkansas and Wisconsin still have a turkey stamp. So we're really proud to reintroduce that, and we're hoping that it inspires some of these states to reintroduce their stamp programs, because there've been a lot of people asking about them from a state perspective.
This just opens up a lot of doors here for us raising money, and I know with Mossy Oak's roots in turkeys, wild turkey, and things along that line, the idea, and if I'm not mistaken, I read where in first 24 hours, $20,000. That's pretty impressive, Daniel. And I know that that in itself, and then the stamp itself. So talk about the idea. How long did it take you guys to kick this project off? Did they sit around, you and your dad, or all the other guys down there, and say, "Hey, man, we need a turkey stamp"? Or don't tell me Cuz did it. I don't believe that. Okay, I don't put on president with Cuz. Okay. But no,
we were sitting around and we started talking about it in December, and it would have been a lot easier to just say we'll do this next turkey season, but we decided that we wanted to try to make it happen within a couple of months and pull it off for this turkey season, and luckily we were able to. We've got a lean and mean team, and so we were able to make it happen pretty quickly.
You do that, and the artist itself. Now, Dan Morton, is that right? Is that
Dan Morton? Yeah, the artwork. I'm glad you said that, because I forgot to mention it. But the cool thing, and what would have been really daunting for me, because I love going down these different rabbit holes of the decades of wildlife art, and especially wild turkey art. It's so cool and fascinating, and there's a lot of history with different pieces of literature and books and old turkey magazines. There's just so much good artwork out there that trying to pick one painting to go on this stamp was really overwhelming. And luckily we had the absolute perfect stamp, perfect piece of artwork for the stamp, because a guy named Dan Morton had painted this turkey painting. It's been hanging in Dad's office and hanging above the mantle at our hunting camp since I was a kid. It was painted in 1996 by Dan Morton. It's called A Mossy Oak Moment. It's a couple of turkeys strutting in some really pretty woods with a father and a son sitting up against a tree. Turkey hunt.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. It is beautiful, and I knew I'd seen that somewhere. I don't know where I'd seen it, but when I look at it here, folks, I mean, this is just a beautiful stamp, and this is not. Don't put it on a postcard or anything like that, folks. This is something that's going to be a lasting. So, are we doing this year by year, Daniel? What's the plan here?
Well, yeah, we were hoping the level of enthusiasm we saw would determine if it was going to be a one and done thing or if we would do it every year. And the turkey world has been very enthusiastic about it. So it'll absolutely be something that we redo every year now. We've already had people take the stamp and put it in the center of a glass pot call, and we've had people framing. There's a nice letter from Dad about what turkeys mean to us that ships with every stamp, and so we've had people framing the stamp next to the letter and all sorts of things. We've had people pledging to buy one stamp at the end of the year for every turkey they killed, and then we've had others who pledged to buy one for every turkey that whooped their butt. So I know for some people that might be a lot of stamps, but
that would be
we've had a bunch of really cool ideas around it.
And you say that as of this week, I mean, we're over 50,000. It's still a possibility. You're going to run this through the end of the turkey season? How's this work now? So
yes, the last turkey season to end is Maine in the first week of June. So we'll at least sell them until the first week of June. And if anybody's listening out there, if we want to reach our goal, the most exciting thing that would be really cool. We've had one company buy $5,000 worth of stamps, and it would definitely accelerate things. If anybody out there works for a company, whether you're in the outdoor world or not, and you want to buy a big batch of stamps, if you want to reach out to me personally or whoever, we would be thrilled. If you want to buy 100 or 500 or whatever it is, anybody who wants to know that their money is going to a good place, like we said, 100% of every penny is going toward wild turkey conservation. And easier than the link is to just Google Mossy Oak turkey stamp, and that'll bring you right to it. Or if you want to send me an email directly, DHAAS@mossyoak.com. If you want to buy a big batch of stamps, we will continue selling them until the first week of June, and hopefully we'll continue raising money for turkeys.
All right, folks, and we're going to have this on my website, lroutdoors.com. And, Daniel, we will for sure be pumping this. Sorry, I haven't bought mine yet. It's coming, okay? I'm going to get me one of these things. I've been a little tied up here lately with this illness, but I was so enthused. Maybe I can't turkey hunt this year. I can sure get a stamp, folks, and I know you can out there. Even if you're a bird watcher, hey, man, this stamp is beautiful. You can frame this and do whatever you want to, and I hadn't even thought about putting it on one of my slate calls. Goodness gracious, man, you just opened up a new world for me, Daniel, so to do that. But thank you for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, buddy, and tell everybody hello. I'm proud of what y'all are doing down there, and always know that Outdoors with Larry Ray is joined at the hip with Mossy Oak. Okay, buddy?
Well, I'll tell everyone you said hello, and we'll be praying for you. We sure will. We've always, when I was a kid, we always appreciate your support. So thank you for having me on and helping spread the word about this.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Y'all be good then. Have a great weekend, okay?
Yep. You too.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, folks. That was Daniel Hazen of Mossy Oak down in West Point, Mississippi. And Shelby, I know we got to get out of here, but I want to tell you quickly about next week's show. I hope I will be able to do it, but I'm having a spinal tap on next Wednesday. Long day at Baptist Hospital, and so if I'm not here on the radio, somebody will, but because we got some really cool guests that are coming on next week's show that I want to let you know about. It will be first Saturday. Gene Smith, Dave Gabbard will get our our monthly Little Red River fishing report from Lindsay's Resort. We'll talk with David Best of Primary Tackle to get what's going on. He knows a lot about fishing going on in the Mid-South. And we're going to talk to pro angler John Canada. Recently won the Major League Fishing Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Stop 3 on Pickwick Lake. We're going to talk about Becoming an Outdoors Woman, the TWRA, and we're going to talk about the coming up Agri Center Junior Fishing Rodeo with John Butler, and we might even talk a little bit about the Tennessee Aquarium. But a lot going on. Again, I want to thank all you folks out there for your prayers, your cards, your contacts, your texts and messages. Drop me a line at lroutdoors@att.net. I appreciate your support as I go through this, and everybody knows that I am a God-fearing man and that God's got control of this. Shelby McCall, you there?
Oh, I'm right here, Larry. Been listening in.
I want to thank you too, Shelby, for all that you do. And let's wrap this baby up today.
All
Be
right.
by myself. All right. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. God bless the USA.